Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my brand new music show. So, me and Buddy are here. Again, no pants, no judgment here. Right, left, right, left. So I'm pretty excited tonight because I've got a hard copy of my list. This is the definitive list of the 230 best musicians of all time. And tonight I was debating about, there's so much to dive into, right? There's so many aspects of music to talk about. There's so many, there's band members, there's histories, there's discographies, and how do we want to do this? And I think I may eventually get into a system of just reviewing the entire discography of each musician. But tonight, I'm going to do a top 5. Are you guys pumped and excited for this Snowman, whatever this is, top 5 best band or musician of all time? My top picks are probably not going to change even as I listen to just more and more music. Gosh, I've tackled the discographies of close to, I've almost finished my list. I am probably, let's see, I've listened to my top 129. I have listened to my top 150. I've listened to my top 173. Okay, and I've listened to a lot of the lower bands on here too, so I'm very excited to try and tackle Elton John next. That sounds kind of weird, but that's what I'm excited to do. And I want to check out his new film, Rocket Man. It's free on Amazon Prime. I'm totally plugging it. Maybe Elton John will send me a few $1 million. Alright, buddy. Keep on chewing your bone. Right now, we're going to tackle the crap out of my top 5 favorite musicians. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about them. Coming in at a strong 97.22% as far as how much of their discography I like. With me liking 35 out of their 36 tracks. The Transplants. Relatively unknown band. If you haven't heard them, they are a super group with members of Rancid, Blink-182, and a solo artist known as Skinhead Rob. Even if you are not a hip-hop fan, I suggest you go out and listen to Skinhead Rob. Very unique rapper, very unique vocalist. He can scream, he can rap. I've really never heard him doing like clean vocals, but he can scream and rap like nobody I've ever heard. I just want to make sure we are recording. I am a professional YouTuber. I have 1 trillion subscribers, as you can see. I have shoes. But number 5, the Transplants. They are considered a rap rock group, although I would say they've kind of invented their own genre here. It is beyond, it was, I wouldn't call it rap rock. I would call it sort of punk hop. I would say it punk hop. Transplants have invented it, and it's amazing. If you like punk rock and hip hop, it might just be the greatest thing you've ever heard. Their album, Haunted Cities, it's one of my Desert Island albums. So go check that out. And all their other albums are just bangers as well. Even their cover albums and some of their other like soundtrack songs and B-sides, amazing. So check out the Transplants. They formed in 1999. They have no bad albums whatsoever. There's one song that I'm not crazy about, which gives them an overall score of 97.22. Okay, moving on to my number 4 band. Can you guys guess who it is? It's System of a Down. And my heart breaks. My heart breaks. This is just one of those, they were amazing. Everything about them was great. When I was in high school and I had all these heavy metal friends and we were trading Disturbed CDs and Drowning Pool CDs and System of a Down CDs, System of a Down were the absolute best hard rock band to come out of the late 90s, period. They were so creative, they were so different, they were so unlikely to have success. They were Middle Eastern at a time when there was a lot of hatred towards Middle Eastern people, and their songs were defiantly anti-capitalist, and some would even say anti-American. And they were having hits. You've got these new news articles this year where Serge Tankian is saying maybe people weren't listening to our words. And I've got to agree with them. I absolutely do not understand how they had the success that they did. But at the same time, I do. Their music was immaculate. Their music was bold and experimental and accessible at the same time. If you've heard System of a Down, you have. You may not have heard it all. I've listened to every song they've ever recorded, and it's all fantastic. I've got to say, except for I think there is one track on their debut self-titled album where it's got the explanation of what a System of a Down is in sort of poetry form. Shut up, buddy. Me and Buddy kind of have this Alonzo Cash relationship. If you YouTubers get that, that's great. If you don't, that's great. Like and subscribe and all that. But System of a Down, they're breaking my heart this year. They just can't get along. The bass player is the only one that just hasn't lost his mind. What is Shavo doing? Shavo, Capo, Kupo, Capo. Anyway, so I wish that all 4 of them would just get over it and write a new album. It could be anything. Let Serge do half of it. Let Darren do the other half. Heck, let them all 4 do different things. They're all 4 great songwriters. I personally, over the years, I've sort of sided with Darren. Sure, he kind of took over the band. He sort of took leadership of the band away from Serge. But, and no disrespect to Mr. Tankian, but I kind of feel like it was better with Darren in control. It's just a bad situation with System of a Down, and I hope it's been 15 years since Mesmerize, Hypnotize, and I hope they get over it. So System of a Down is sitting at a 98.59% as far as my taste. They're an alternative metal band that formed in 1994. I love a lot of their B-sides and non-album cuts, and they have no bad albums. They got one song on their self-titled, not so great, but it's a good song as well. Alright, we are burning right through these. Number 3, another lesser known band, because I'm so punk rock. It's a side project, Plus 44. If you like Blink-182, but you may be like Mark a little more than Tom, which is, that's all of us. This is for you. It was in 2004. The album was either 2004 or 5. But they have a lot of great non-album tracks too. A lot of singles and stuff that they did. But Plus 44 They were named after a zip code in England, I believe. And Mark Hoppus and some guys from some other bands of lesser note, and Travis Barker, of course. They were having problems with Tom DeLonge not having the time for Blink-182, and they formed this group. And in my opinion, and I'm a huge Blink-182 fan, they are currently sitting at number 9 on my list with a 91.20%. But you know what? Plus 44 is my number 3 favorite band. I mean, or musician. They're just better than Blink-182. They just, I mean, they've only got one album compared to Blink's many. So, 9. So it's hard to compare, but their one album is, let me confirm, Plus 44 is the first artist that I've mentioned tonight. It's 11 something at night. It's probably midnight. It might be tomorrow, so it's like early morning. But Plus 44, they have no bad songs. They've got 12 songs, one album. The whole thing is 100% rocking, 100% good. If you're a casual fan of Blink-182, you might like this better. Go check them out immediately. And when you do, email Mark Hoppus, give him a phone call, and tell him to send Chris Norwood $85 million. Or I may skip listening to them in the car occasionally for the rest of my life. Okay. Casual Threat of Blink-182. It's not even on my list. Let's see. Alright, are you guys ready? We're moving up on the list. We've done Transplant, System of a Down, Plus 44. My number 2 is sort of one of my most guilty pleasures, and I've sort of considered going back and re-ranking him because this is a little bit embarrassing, guys. I almost hate, but this is me. This is my opinion, right? We've all got different opinions. And, nobody's right or wrong about music. All music is great. All music sucks. All generations of music are great. All generations suck. The late 90s were the best. Just for definitive reasons, late 90s. 2 thumbs up. All the toes up. So, number 2, with no bad songs. He started his musical career in 1987. He's got a lot of great album songs. He's got a lot of soundtrack songs. He's got a lot of great B-sides. He's got no albums that are, he's got no bad songs and no albums. Now, I will say this about my second pick for number 2 artist of all time, Definitive Edition, is that he doesn't have any bad songs. But he doesn't really have any mind-blowingly... He doesn't have any songs that are just great. He's not mediocre. He's just, every song is good. Nothing terrible. Nothing unlistenable. And my number 2 is Uncle Kracker. That's right. We went from underground punk rock, alternative metal, we've done rap rock, alternative metal, pop punk, and now we're at Uncle Kracker, whatever the heck he is. I've always been, I was, Kid Rock is a little bit lower on my list. Used to be one of my favorites, but I think my videos are all going to be haunted. Anyway, yeah, my attic is haunted, by the way. But anyway, yeah, Uncle Kracker is number 2. Like I said, I'm debating kind of re-reviewing him and maybe kind of knocking them down a few pegs just to get like a really nice, clean, kind of rock and roll top 5, or my top list is just all over the place, guys. You got Fleetwood Mac, White Stripes, Marilyn Manson, Sex Pistols, Lynyrd Skynyrd, P.O.D., Jay-Z, Dave Matthews Band, AC/DC, Hank Williams III, Jimmy Eat World. Those are some lower ranking. Big and Rich. My list is all over the place. I'm very eclectic. But anyway, we're doing my top 5, so forget all those that I just mentioned. Whew. Are you guys ready for number 1? Oh, my knees. I'm so old. It's hurt so bad. I need a studio. I'm like laying in my bedroom floor. I'm a really old millennial. And that, my friends, brings us to my number 1 spot. And it's a combination because these guys are in so many different bands, and they're just basically all fantastic. Every member of this band is in 3 or more bands. Every member of this band is, even like backing members are great. Coming in at number 1, I'll start from some of their side projects. Rodeo Queens, The Network, Billy and Nora, Foxborough Hot Tubs. Do you guys know where I'm going with this? The Cover-Ups. The list of band, The Long Shot, my number 1 band. I like everything they've ever done, every song every member's ever been involved with, every live performance, every concert, every poster, every DVD, every CD, every image, every piece of artwork, every book, every magazine, every picture, every tweet, every Facebook post, every YouTube video of the 88th biggest band in the world. They are punk rock. They formed in 1986 or 87 or 88, depending on how Billy Joe Armstrong feels at the time, is Green Day. They've got no bad albums. They're fantastic. They've had a lot of really great performances on iHeartRadio. And I just, that's my personal taste. So that might give you a little bit more in depth on my reviewing albums and reviewing discographies. Green Day are the greatest. They're the greatest band on the planet, and that's how I feel. That's the definitive edition of my top 5 bands. And then Uncle Kracker. Top 4 bands, and then Uncle Kracker. He's not a band. He's a man. So, yeah, Green Day / Foxborough Hot Tubs / The Network / Rodeo Queens / Billy Joe and Nora / a whole slew of other side projects. If you don't like Green Day, you're wrong, and I'm right. My ex-wives were all wrong. And, Green Day, Green Day, Green Day, Green Day, Green Day. There's no other rock band, no other solo musician that comes anywhere close to my love of Green Day. Maybe I will do a whole video, whole series on Green Day one day. But yeah, Green Day, Green Day, Green Day. Don't listen to anything else except for every song on the planet. Thanks, bye.